Here we shall see about the NumPy. NumPy is an short form of numerical Python, which basically helps to do the mathematical and logical operations on array, which can be performed over here. And the NumPy consists of multi-dimensional array object, and it includes the different and various methods which does the processing of multi-dimensional arrays, and it can also be used to do the Fourier transforms and the routines for shape manipulations. All those things can be done with the help of NumPy basically. And we have that option, something like it has the inbuilt functions like for doing the linear algebra and random number generation. All those things has been supported in the NumPy. And we have basically the NumPy is an n-dimensional array type, which is called an ND array. Yeah, over here. Yeah. Now we have that the different array attributes, something like a ndim, which provides a kind of a number of dimension of the array, and shape provides the array dimension, whether it is a 2 cross 2 or 2 cross 3, like that. And we have the size, which contains the, which provides some kind of a total number of elements in the array, and item size is provide something like the size bytes in each element in the array basically, and data, which provides some kind of the actual elements of the array that we can get it with the help of the data over here. Now we will see how can we get started with the NumPy. Maybe we can do that with the help of over here. Now maybe I'm going to close my projects. Yeah, I'm going to open Python program. Yeah, over here. Now maybe we can play this with the console over here. In order to use that NumPython, maybe we can use, we have to install that in our method, something like a pip3 install NumPy, and that will install that NumPy packages into the Python. The Python dependency packages that will be get installed. Now as I already installed, it provides, it was already satisfied. Once it is done, maybe we can do the import of NumPy over here. Import NumPy as NP. So that in order to type the bigger number, bigger string, NumPy, we can use NP, that we can use it for our access, easier access basically. It got loaded, and maybe we can do that. We can create an array with the help of a equals np dot dot reshape to 3 cross 5 over here. And whenever we do something like this one, something like we wanted to arrange something like 0 to 14 in the array shape of 3 cross 5. Whenever we do print of A, that we will get that values, that is we provided that values 0 to 14, that is 15 is the range 0 to 14 in the reshape of 3 cross 5, that is 3 rows and 5 columns are created as a two-dimensional array over here. And we can do something like a print of a ndim, which provides some kind of a the dimensional. This is a two-dimensional array. We are getting 2 over here. The similar way we can do a dot size, maybe size provides it contains 15 elements, and similar way we can do a dot shape which is an 3 cross 5 matrix of two-dimensional array. Yeah, this is something that we can able to get it with the help of this. And maybe we can do something like print a dot data, which provides some kind of a the buffer memory pointer. It's which buffer which contains all these 15 elements over here. Yeah. Now we will see how can we do the data manipulations over here with the help of NumPy over here. Now we have that something like maybe we can do something like print type of A. A is something like we can say something like it's a class ND multi-dimensional array is the type of A over here, and maybe we can do something print type of A of 0 over here, which is also a multi-dimensional array A00 over here, which is an NumPy integer 32 is the variable which is present over there. Yeah, we the similar to Python, the NumPy has supports with the different data types that we will see over here, that different data types supported by NumPy. And we have the data types called something like bool, which is an boolean data type, and integer C, which is an C similar to the C programming language integer, and int p can be used for indexing, and integer 8, which is an minus 128 to 127, and integer 16 and integer 32 and integer 64. Like that we have the different signed integer data types, and we have that unsigned integer data types, something like uint8, uint16, uint32 and uint64, and it ranges from 0 to 255 and multiple ranges it supports. The similar way we can use some kind of a floating point. The float 16, 32 and float 64 is the different data types that it supports basically. And we have the complex number which provides some kind of a complex 64 complex 128 as well. Over here that we can use a data type as a character code as well. For example, maybe we will define this one, and we will then we will move forward with this. Yeah. Maybe I'm going to stop this console. Yeah, and maybe we can define an NumPy. Yeah, new file, new Python file, numpy1.py over here, and here I'm going to do import NumPy as np over here. And once we did that import, maybe we can create an array, and then maybe I'm going to create an array A and np dot array, sorry, yeah, np dot array with the help of that something like I'm going to define something like an array over here, which provides an output uh, over here, something that maybe we can define an array 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, and then I'm going to define this data type as maybe float. Maybe I can do np dot float integer 32. Maybe we can use, I'm going to define np dot float over here, and once it is defined, maybe I'm going to print print of a over here. Now, whenever we do print, and I'm going to do print of numpy, yeah, we got something like 1 comma 1 dot 2 dot 3 dot 4 dot 5 dot 0. 5 dot, it's something like it's a floating point that it got represented over here. If suppose I did something like np dot integer over here, and whenever we run this, we got 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. It depends upon the data type, it will be get added, whether it is a floating point or integer or complex, that we can able to create an array with same sequence of numbers, that we can able to do that. And we can also create something like a custom data type with the information, something like we can use the custom data type that we can use with the variables and character codes, something like the character code B is for boolean, I is for signed integer, U is for unsigned integer, and we have an F is for an floating point, C complex, and M is for an small m is for time delta, and capital M can be used for date time. And a similar way we have O is used for Python object, and capital S and N denotes something like a number of byte string, and U is an Unicode, and V is an raw data, that we can do that over here. And in order to define something like, we can use a function called dtype. Yeah, maybe I'm going to define a data type over here, something like dtype equals np dot dtype, and I'm having something like functions, and it has an elements that it contains something like a kind of array, and which has something uh, like, yeah, name, and then it, which is an in the format of s and 10 bytes basically, and comma we have an option other one, which is something like a age over here, and we can have the option something like it is an np dot integer over here, and which basically denotes something like a um, the type, and maybe we can use something like a I as well over here. Yes, this provides an integer over here, and if suppose we wanted to define, yeah, array with that data type, maybe I'm going to define something like a then array b equals np dot array, and then we have the objects, something like we can say the starting from this, and we have the option to start with maybe Hari comma 35 and we have something like a Navy, comma 32, and we have the option something like maybe uh, Raju, comma 45 over here, and once it is done, maybe we can do that the option something like D type equals dt over here. Sorry, maybe I'm going to define this as dt. Once it is done, maybe we can do the print. I'm going to print this. Print b over here, and whenever we run this, we got the output of the name and then array that it has been created with the two-dimensional array with that something like with the data type of dt, which contains each element. It's a single dimensional array with the data type of dt, which includes each element is a name and then uh, age is the one. Now we can have something like we can, if suppose we wanted to add something that we will see over here. For example, maybe I'm going to do np dot uh, append, something like that. We can do append maybe b, comma something like a values. Values I'm going to do enter over here, and maybe the test, which is something like a 23 over here. Yeah. Now, if suppose we run this, iterable maybe that we will do that appending or appending test. Yeah, maybe that we can do something like appending. For example, I may wanted to add something like 6 into the array A. Maybe we can do that appending of 6 comma 7 over here, and axis equals 0, so that that will be get added at the end of the uh, array. Maybe I can print it again the A. Yeah, I'm going to append this over here, append an array with the 6 comma 7, and we will see how it behaves. Array print of append A, and maybe we can append and it generates the output, and I'm going to assign it into the A, so that which provides appended output as a output over here, and it has been received and it has been added into the A over here, and whenever we print, the elements 6 and 7 got added into it. If suppose we wanted to add into the axis 1, which is something like a row wise, and we can see how it behaves. Okay, yeah, it and does not have that one, and maybe I'm going to add a multi-dimensional, and 11 comma 12 comma 13 comma 14 comma 15 over here, and maybe we can do that by running this. We got printed with the 1 3 1 2 3 4 5, and whenever it's going to get add, maybe we have to add some kind of a 6 7 8 9 10 over here, and maybe we can do that. Sorry, access 0, which I'm going to add. Sorry. Appending yeah, that we can able to append two arrays, both should be a same dimensional. For example, this is something like it has a two-dimensional array, and if suppose we wanted to append another one, it also has to be a two-dimensional, and we can able to append something like the first array contains 1 2 3 4 5 and 11 12 13 14 15, and after that we can able to append something like a kind of a array that it can we can able to push into it something like 1 2 3 4 5. After that the two-dimensional arrays 6 7 8 9 10 and 16 17 18 19 20 has been appended over here, that we can able to append the multi-dimensional arrays over here. Basically the numpy is the one which is used to manipulate the multi-dimensional array values. For example, if suppose we have an array over here, and I'm going to create one more element, and this has to be done test, and we wanted to do something kind of a 54 over here, and for example we wanted to do the sorting, then we can able to do that with the help of maybe we can have something like s equals np dot sort over here, and we can do something the n-dimensional array. The array is b, comma maybe order order equals maybe order I wanted to make in the name of name based sorting. Then I'm going to print of yes over here. That provides the sorting in the name based sorting that we will see over here. After sorting, we got the output Hari and then Nivi and then Raju and then test. Both are same since it is H is the first, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, R and T, which is in the same format. Maybe we can do something like a kind of a order in the age, order based on age. We can do that, which we can do something like this. Now we have the option something like 32, 35, 45 and 54. Like that, the array has been sorted and the sorted output has been received on yes over here. Like that, if suppose we have the multiple data type defined, for example, maybe age, name, and then we have marks over here, and marks can be something like a maybe we have the different data types, and we have the different data types. U is an unsigned integer. Marks cannot be an negative value. Maybe if suppose there is a negative marks, we will get maybe I'm going to use something like a unsigned integer for the marks. Maybe we can use the format U over here. Like this, if we wanted to specify the data type with the help of the character code here. B is for Boolean and I is for signed integer and M is for time delta. Like that, we can able to define our own value. Maybe I'm going to add something like the value 450, and we have the option something like a 230, and I'm going to have it something like a 134, and I'm going to have it something like a 213 over here. And if suppose I wanted to do that, the sorting with the marks, then I can do that over here. Whenever we run this, data type U is not understood. Yeah, it's a floating point. Yeah, that we have the floating point now, and after sorting that we have that 134 is the first one, the smallest value, and we have 213 is the next one. Like that, it has been sorted based on the marks basically. That like that we can able to manipulate it accordingly. For example, that we have seen that the data analytics with the Excel sheet over here. For example, we have that this file. Yes. Yeah. We can load these data into the, for example, that we can load this data into the NumPy with the format of segment equal, segment is a string, country is the string, product is the string, and the discount band is the string, and unit sold is the floating point, manufacturer is manufacturer value is floating point. Like that we can able to define, and if suppose we wanted to do the sorting accordingly, that we can able to do that with the NumPy. But the NumPy is handling all those data. Basically the NumPy is for basically the NumPy is to manipulate the numbers. We have the different data types, that different package which can be used for this data framing and data analytics that we will see over here. And we have the option something like we can resize the numpy with the resize, and we can able to do the insert. We did the append, maybe we can do the insert over here. Maybe I can do something like for example, if suppose we want, after that maybe we can do something like we can do print unique will provide something a kind of format a dot maybe np dot unique of a over here, and which we will see. We got the output. The unique is something like which we have an option. If suppose there is a multiple duplicates are available, in that case we will get only one time that particular one. For example, we have the option. I'm going to create the appending one with the 6, all are 6 over here. Now we will see whenever we do unique, we got the 6 only one time. Other values are the 6, even though we have the 6 or multiple times, the unique will consider that as a single element, a single, which since it is a unique only one times over here. That in order to find the uniqueness or something like if suppose we have that we have loaded this and we have the option something like Canada, Germany, multiple things are there. If suppose we use the uniqueness, then we will be getting that respective outputs only over here. Maybe we can try loading and we can see how it behaves. And I'm going to load this this over here. For example, that what where we have that example demo 2 over here, and yeah, I think this is the file. Yes. Yeah. Maybe I'm going to create a new one, which uh, uh, over here, which is something like a get column by name. Maybe I'm going to create a value, the column by name, the function I'm going to use over here, column by name over here. Yeah, that maybe I'm going to create a new one, new file. Yes, yeah. I'm going to do numpy2.py over here, and I have that file get column name by name over here. And once it is done, maybe we can use something, yeah, kind of load workbook, and we can get the sheet name, list of sheet names over here. And numpy2. Instead that we wanted to load the workbook from the OpenPyXL. I'm going to load this over here. We got loaded and we got the outputs and list. We got the list of 0 that we get. We got the first sheet that will be get accessed by it. And once it is done, maybe we have the option to receive the column by name. Yeah. I'm going to get something like the column with country over here. Country over here. And once it is done, maybe I'm going to use something like a import numpy as np over here. And once it is done, maybe I'm going to create an array with the data element. Maybe I'm going to create np dot d type equals over here, and it should be an string, and which can be a country, uh, country which is an data type of S10 over here. That I'm going to use it for data type, and which is an DT over here. And I'm going to create an the data array which is something like a equals np dot array with the data type d type, sorry, d type equals dt over here. And once it is done, maybe we can do the additions over here. And uh, we got the output. Okay. Yeah, we got that the values, the output of list that we have, that maybe we can add append that into this value over here, np dot append with the data type maybe out over here, a comma out, that we can append over here, that we will see. And once it is done, once we got appended, maybe we can use something like a print, maybe a unique over dot format of uh, np dot unique of a over here. Yeah. Over here, maybe when we can run this. Sorry, I ran different one. I wanted to run this numpy2 demo.py. np.array requires argument object position one not found. Yeah. Maybe I can do that the dummy array with the help of this. Uh, yeah. Run numpy2 empty array, and we wanted to add this one. Maybe for that I'm going to do something like for x in out over here, and maybe not in x, the country in out, and I'm going to add country over here. Yeah. Invalid type. Yeah, it should be np sorry, np dot mm, I wanted to convert from string the country comma uh, d type equals np dot string. Data type equals S10 over here. Now we can string size multiple. Yeah, just a second. Yeah, so this we will see how can we integrate this into this over here. Maybe after some time, I mean with that we shall continue our session, and end of the, during the end of session we will come back to this to get this integration that we will see over here. And next, the package we have is an Pandas. Pandas is a one which is an open source and BSD licensed Python library, which provides an higher performance and easy to use data structure, which can be used in most of the data analytics tools. And the pandas are used in various fields, including academic and commercial domain, a kind of finance and economics and statistics and analytics over here. And we have the option something like to install the pandas, we can use pip3 install pandas that we can use to install the pandas over in our system. And we have that option something like what are the different key features of the Panda is something like it's very fast and efficient data frame object with the default and customized indexing, and it can provide tools for loading the data in memory that we will see, and we have the data alignment and integrated handling, reshaping and pivoting of data sets that we can able to handle. And we have the different column structure with the data columns from the data structure can be deleted and inserted into the data, and group by data for aggregation and transformation can be done. Basically it's a high performance merging and joining of data with time series functionality basic over here. The pandas has different data structure, which is something like a series, which is an one-dimensional labeled homogeneous array, and which the size is immutable, which is not changeable in case of a series one-dimensional array over here. And we have the next data structure format is data frames, which is similar to this Excel sheet, which contains the single two-dimensional array, which is similar to data frames that we can able to form in the data frame data structure with the 2D labeled. For example, these are all labeled with the segment, this row labeled with the country over here. The similar way, each row has been labeled with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 up to some value. This is a complete data frame which is an 2D labeled, which is size mutable, which means that we can append, we can modify that, add that data into the data frames, data structure, and which is an heterogeneous data structure. Heterogeneous in the sense it can be multiple data type can be present inside that. For example, we have the string with the country, we have the floating point with the unit sold, we have the floating point with the manufacturer cost. Like that, different data structure can be grouped for a data frame over here, and its size also mutable basically. And we have the another element called panel, which is an 3D labeled size mutable array, which is an heterogeneous, and it's also size mutable basically. That we will see one by one. We have the panda series. For example, we can use something like a panda, which can be an array from the NumPy that can be indexed accordingly. For example, here we have the data. Maybe I'm going to do a new file, new Python file, which is panda1.py over here. Inside that, maybe I'm going to do import pandas as p and import numpy as np over here. And once it is done, maybe we can define the data equals np dot array over here, and which includes a comma b comma maybe comma d over here. Since this is a series which is an homogeneous, we have to give the same data type over here. Since that panda series is an homogeneous array, that we will see over here. And we have s equals, maybe I'm going to use panda as pd dot series over here, which something like data I'm going to do, and we can give index equals something like 100 comma 101 comma 102 comma 103 over here. And whenever we do print of s, that we will see what it comes over here. And whenever we run this panda1, yeah, we got the output something like index number 100 has A, index number 101 has B, index number 102 has C. Like that, with respect to that index number, we have the respective values over here that we can able to define with the series. Series is basically an homogeneous array that with the data type of same data type basically over here. That we can, same way we can do the definition of the data formats. Data formats is an two-dimensional data structure, and data is aligned in the tabular fashion with the rows and columns, and partially a column of different data type, and something like each column can have the different data types, and the size is mutable, and it can be labeled with the access row and columns. And we can able to do that arithmetic operation with the data frames, that we will see how we can define a data frame with the pandas.data frame over here. And I'm going to define something like Alex, Bob, and Clark, something that we can name use the same way. Maybe I'm going to use another one, new Python file, which is something like pandas 2.py over here. Now I'm going to do import pandas as pd, and whenever we are creating a data, I'm going to create a data as two-dimensional array. It's something like maybe a list. With that, something like we have the option, the name Alex, maybe maybe the name Harry, and then we can add something. Maybe we have that option NumPy 2 or NumPy 1, which has that the data type over here, Harry and Mox, all those things that we can reuse again in the pandas. Maybe, but the thing is, this should be an array list that we can able to use the list over here. Yeah, this basically does something like a array of information that we have. Once it is done, maybe we can create a data type, data frame with the help of df equals pd dot data frame, which contains data, and we have that option something like a columns. Columns equals something like we have the different columns, something like a name, and then we have age, and then we have marks over here. And once it is done, maybe we can do the printf of df over here data frame, and whenever we do run this panda 2, it basically loads. Yeah, it provided the output something like a two-dimensional, which is similar to the tabular format. Name equal to Harry, age equal to 35, and marks is 45, 450, and we have that a different option 1, 2, 3, and we have the tabular format. If suppose we wanted to load that, uh, now we will see how can we do the operations over here. For example, we can do for example, here, for example, we have the option something like df dot maybe uh, uh, yeah, we can do something, a kind of, we can do the operation, something like a sorting with respect to the marks that we got the output 134, and the complete list is aligned with something like a marks. It has been assigned, and we have that 134, 213, 230, and 40, like the 450, like that. It has been completely sorted with the values of information, something like it has been aligned over here. The similar way we can do by loading our Excel sheet over here, that we can do, we can add that data into this, and we can do that accordingly. That we will see. We can how can we can create a data frame over here, And for example, I'm going to create a new file, panda3.py over here. And here in that we have the option num2.py, and I'm going to load this. We can now choose the complete thing, panda3.py, and maybe I'm going to remove some of the things which was done over here. Yeah. Now we have the options to get it, the country name that we got output, and for maybe we can do something like if suppose we wanted to have maybe written output over here, not written output, it's a output. I am going to get the column. Column name is country. Yeah. Now we have the option, something like we have that we have to create a data frame with this information. Maybe I'm going to get two things, something like column name, and I'm going to define it this as a country over here, and similar way I'm going to use another data frame which is to be in the format segment. I'm going to create a segment over here, and which is something like a get column by segment over here. And once it is done, maybe we can load this into the data frames as a file that we can able to do that with the help of Panda. Sorry, we can add something like a import pandas as PD over here. PD dot data frame, which we may need to add data into it, and that we can use to create a data frame. And maybe we have that option, something like a country and list. Maybe I'm going to define something like a list that we can able to push into it. Maybe I am having the information to create a data frame, and which for that we need a data, which is something like a list over here, and we can add something like a for X in country over here, and maybe we can add something like a for X comma Y in country comma segment over here, and we can use something like a list equals something like X comma Y over here, and I'm going to append this data dot append of list over here. Now once it is done, I'm going to do print of data over here, and we will see how it works. That I'm going to run this panda3 panda3.py, which basically loads, and it provides the segment and country. It has too many values. Maybe I'm going to do something like the segment. I can do the segment with the help of y equals 0, and we can use a segment of y, and then we can add something like a y equals, maybe we can do something like x in range of len of country over here, and I'm going to use country of x and segment of x to create. And once it is done, I'm going to add this with the data, append with the data, and we can get that information over here, run.panda. Yeah, this is something like we have the country and complete things, country Canada over here, that we can able to get it. And maybe we can something like I'm going to do, which is the one, if x are not equal to 0, then we are going to append the data, and else we will not append over here. And I'm going to run. We got the data with the Canada and government over here. Once the data is ready, now we can create a data format. Df equals pd dot the data frame over here, and which contains the data, comma something like the data which we have used for it, something like columns over here. And the columns I'm going to create with the help of something like a country of 0, comma segment of 0 over here. That basically that it will provide, and I'm going to print of df over here, and maybe I will comment this. Yeah, maybe let it be. And whenever we do that running of this command, maybe we will see. Yeah, we got the data frame completely from 0, 1, 1, 2 up to this 699, which is an Canada and government like that. If suppose we wanted to do that, some kind of 700 rows into 2 columns, which is an content of this data frame, and we wanted to manipulate something like we wanted to do sorting with respect to that we can able to do that. Maybe the data frame with the short values, maybe I'm going to do print df dot sort values of something, maybe we can have country of 0 over here. And whenever we run this, we got the data which has been added with that. It has been listed with the name of a sequence in the name of alphabetical order, which starts with the Canada and it end up with the United States of America. Like that, we can do the sorting, and we can do that. For example, if suppose we do with the segment, that we can able to do the segments accordingly over here. Segment of 0, that provides, and based on the categories, the first enterprises, the government and mid-market, like that, we will be getting that the complete sorted output over here, which starts from the channel partners and ends up with the small business over here. Yes. Yeah, this provides some kind of a data frame that we can able to create. For example, whatever be the data we wanted to add, for example, that we wanted to add something like the sale price, manufacturing price, like that, then we can able to fetch the data and add up and create the data frame. And once the data frame is created, that we can able to do the manipulations accordingly over here. Then we have the option something like df dot maybe add prefix, align, and apply. We can do that. Get key by sort by values. We can use append over here, and we can use that eval operations over there. Like that, we can use the different operation, and maybe we can use the, if suppose there is a numerical value, and we can able to count how many numbers of Canada or France or anything that is present, that we can able to use that count method, and we can able to get that play with the data frames accordingly over here. Yeah. And we have the another data type which is called with the pandas, which something we have the data. It's something like we can do the sort values with the name of the column that we have used. The column we have defined something like a segment and country which we have loaded, and the names we have created with the columns. The country of zero will be a name, the respective one, the country. This is the one, and this segment of zero will be a the title. The segment is the one that we have used to create a columns, and we wanted to do the sort values with respect to that based on countries and based on the segments accordingly over here. And we have another data type, and we can use something like a 3D container data, which can be derived from econometrics and partially responsible for the naming pandas. And the panel can be created with the help of the data similar to that 3D container data, and major x-axis and minor axis that we can able to define to create a panel accordingly, similar to data frame basically over here. And this basically the most used data type will be a data frame, which can be a data frame can be used to load that the complete CSV file, and we can use that the data frame for manipulation with respect to same two-dimensional data with respect accordingly. For example, if suppose we wanted to, we can load the complete Excel sheet over here, maybe that we will see now. One second. Yeah. Yeah. That we can able to see that now panda dot read Excel over here, and we can use read Excel, and Maybe we can use something like df equals read excel, and I'm going to create other one. Yeah, new Python file, and which is something like panda, panda 4.py over here, and import panda as pd, and we have the data frame df. Yes. How many days for Python class? I could not get you. It's a 10 days program, and we have completed 3 days, 7 days, and we have three more days. Tomorrow we will see about the unit testing with the Python, and day after tomorrow we will see about automated the graphical user interface testing, the mechanisms, and the last day we will see about the Python debugger and binary and package creations accordingly over here. Yeah. Now I'm going to use something like a pd dot. We will try with the I'm not used pd dot read excel, and excel file I'm going to use the file over here. And once it is done, maybe we can use print of df over here, and I'm going to run this. Not panda, I have run wrongly. Maybe we can stop it. I'm going to run it the panda 4.py. Which basically loads that yeah, maybe we can use the pip3 install excel rd over here. Yeah. Now maybe I'm going to run it again, the panda 4. It's, I think it's loading. Yeah. It loaded, and we have, it has been completely done, loaded that all the data into the data frame over here with a simple information, something like a pd dot read excel, and it has been get with that the title, segment, country, month, name, and years. Like that we can got the complete data of excel sheet into the data frame format over here with the help of pd dot read excel is the function, is the method used to completely read the XLS file and create the data frame accordingly. And for that we need a dependency excel read that we can, once we install that, it could be able to read and create the data frame. And if suppose we wanted to do that manipulations accordingly, and we wanted to have something like kind of a that it has to be formed in an sequence format. For example, I'm going wanted to do df dot sort values based on year over here. That once we will get that the sorted based on the year, that we will get output, we will get based on the years basically. Yeah, which here we have it has been started with the year 2013 up to 2014 over here. I think these two are present. Yeah, only 2013 and 14. If suppose we wanted to do the sort with the help of gross sales, then we can do that option over here to manipulate that accordingly over here. Now we got it has been sorted out with the help of something like the gross sales value. It has data frame has been sorted out, and we can do the manipulations accordingly over here. Basically, that if suppose we wanted to get something like a kind of a the to convert, for example, df dot to list. Basically, this converts that the complete data into the list format, and we can able to convert into the list uh, list of data from the data frame. We can convert to the list. We can able to do that basically, and we have the option something like df dot save. Uh, uh, df dot unique, then we have the option to print the unique values of the data frame that we can able to print over there with the help of the segment. For example, we wanted to get with respect to the segment, that we can able to do that accordingly over here. Maybe I am going to run this. Data frame has no attribute unique. It has skin df dot. Okay, this is a data frame is for example, the unique is the function used for series over here. The sort values and append is for the data frame. And if suppose we wanted to do the evaluation, that we can do that. And if suppose we wanted to count the values, that then it can be done with the data frame accordingly over here. This is something like we can do that the complete analytics of data with the help of the data frames by using the Panda over here. With this, we are winding up our session today, and if you have any doubts, please ping me over here. I just wanted to do the recap once again with the help. We have the NumPy. NumPy is basically to do with the mathematical and logical operations over the multidimensional arrays, and it has the different attributes, endim, shapes, size, different things, and it has the different data types like a Boolean, integer, integer 8, 16, and 34, 32, and 64 kind of formats, and we have the different unsigned integer formats. And the data type can be defined with the character code respectively, and we can use something like we can do that different data types, and with the help of I think we have captured almost everything that we will it will be shared. Please contact for to get the videos accordingly. And it has we have the option something like a character code, and we have the pandas over here. And with the pandas, we have the 3 different data types, which is an 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional, and 3-dimensional. 1D is called series is the data type for 1-dimensional, which is an homogeneous array. The size is immutable. And in case of a data frame, which is an 2-dimensional array, which is an table kind of a format with the rows and columns, that we can use it for heterogeneous data structure, and which the size is mutable over here. And similar way, we can have the option something like a panel, which is an 3D labeled one. Over here. With this, we can able to load that the complete Excel sheet of information into the our data frame, and we can process the data, process the complete data with the use of data frames accordingly over here. Uh, I'm not sure that whatever be the video captured over here, I could able to upload into my YouTube channel. And anyways, I have the different sessions conducted. I have uploaded already some of the Python videos. Uh, it has been present in my YouTube channel, and also you can contact the coordinator to get the videos to your mail ID. Yeah, you can ping, you can mail them to get the videos from them basically. Yeah. Uh, if you have any other clarification, if you do not have any further more questions, maybe we can wind up this session. Thank you, thank you, thank you for attending this session. Tomorrow we will see about the Python unit testing. How can we do that simple unit testing of the Python module that we will see on tomorrow. Till then, have a nice day. Bye. Thank you.